Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Wednesday. Okay, guys. So you guys know that last night, Jason and I were not able to do our after party or anger watch, but it was because we were not here. So I saw a lot of messages from everybody, but I thought even more fun, Jason would be able to do the full recap with me on Up and Adam Channel 1. And that's exactly what we're doing today. So we're going to talk about the whole episode, see what you guys think, engage with the live chat and everything in between. But before we do, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and let's welcome Jason.
Hello. Hi. Oh my gosh. What an evening. You know, it's so funny. I'm so used to staying up so late on Tuesday nights to do an after party or anchor watch, but you know, I don't know if anybody knows here, but we are on a hiatus on Anchor Watch while all three of the hosts of Anchor Watch figure out, you know, with our busy lives, what's next. So
yeah,
we'll keep you updated. We're working on a little bit of a revamp.
That's kind of, honestly, to be fair too, I think that, and I want to say I probably received about 4 or 5 messages last night. And I think that it's important for people to know. So we're going to do our best to, you know, like, be transparent with all of you guys and let you know if or when or why we're not doing something, because I don't want people to just wait around and think, oh, okay, well, we have this at 11 o'clock and we don't.
Where's the damn after party? Where's Anchor Watch?
Yes, guys, we will do better on that. We will, for sure.
No, totally.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely. But this episode of Vanderpump Rules was kind of like, I think, the beginning of the end, if that makes sense. Not in a bad way, but the beginning to the end of the season, because already we're having a mid-season trailer. The trailer looks like a little off the hook. It looks like things are picking up. And even during this episode, I feel like things were picking up because it's been a slow 6 episodes before this.
Do you know what? Can I say really quick? What was it yesterday when I did Access Hollywood? Yeah. They said to me that the mid-season trailer would be coming out after episode 6. And I said, wait, what? Because normally, Jason, you have to remember, they do 22 to 23 episodes. They get paid episodic, right?
I know.
6, 12, 18, 24. That's a quarter of the way in. Why are you releasing this now?
I don't think we're in for as long of a season as you think. I don't think, you know, this is... Last year, we had all of those extra, 2 episodes or something like that with Scandival. So, you know, they picked cameras back up and it was kind of like a quick change, if you will. And like now, I don't know. I feel like we are on this kind of, they plateaued at Scandival and it's like, where are we going from here? And the thing is like, I don't think I usually would say this is the season of completion or like, what are they going to do next season? I really do feel like
it is.
Do you feel like this is the last season?
I hate to say that because, you know, can I say something, guys? And I don't know what I'm going through. And I've been, God, ask Jason, so emotional over like the past few weeks because I think that we have so much on our plate. And I am always trying to balance making sure that I'm being kind to our friends who are on the shows and also, you know, honoring the relationships that we have with NBC and Bravo and the Bravo talent. However, I think that sometimes that hinders me from being able to say what I want. And I don't know what came over me over the last few months. And Jason and I have been trying to figure this out, but my give a damn has been so broken. Not in the sense of like this community and everything with YouTube. I love this. But sitting here not saying what I want to say when I want to say it.
Oh, I mean, come on. Listen, there are people closer to the cast. There are people with
who spill everything
and talk shit about everyone. I think it's okay to have an opinion. And I think, though, this is going to be a really good season, you know, to kind of, I think this is why they kind of greenlit the Valley, too. I think there has to be somewhere to go. You know, if the Valley does semi well, let's say, right, then you can slap Sheena in there. You can slap Lala in there. You can maybe potentially bring someone else back, you know, with the family. Yeah, who knows? Right. So I don't know. I want to see what it has to bring. But like right now, I kind of feel like we've gone full circle with Vanderpump Rules. We've gone full circle with all of the cast. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I do have to say this episode, if you guys want to rate it in the live chat, because I'm really curious to see what you guys have to think. This episode, I'm going to rate like a solid 7. I just thought it was like, we got a lot of things out there.
Do you know, before we end up getting into all of the rest of it, I did end up doing a poll, which I'm going to share with you right now because this is my first time actually looking at the results of it. I asked everybody this morning when I was on my way to the gym, who, in fact, everybody would be more interested in. And it didn't, of course, because it was mobile, post my poll. Thank you so much, YouTube. I am loving you right now. I wanted to know if people were leaning more in favor of Ariana and Katie or Lala and Sheena, because right now Sheena is struggling with the fact that she's like, I am friends with you, but I was also friends with him. And I'm
Sure.
afraid to be friends with him again, being Tom Sandoval, because if I am, you're saying that you're going to cut me out. And Lala's defending her on this. And then over on the other
Mm.
side, Ariana's like, I am not telling you how to feel. If you feel that that is something that you want, then explore that. That is on you. I'm just saying, I don't want him privy to the information and the things that are happening in my life. And I am not going to associate with people who can potentially take that information back to him and keep him updated as if I'm posting a video every 5
Absolutely.
seconds.
Absolutely. We got to remember that this is fresh, right? They
Right.
picked up cameras right away after Scandival. We went straight into season 11.
Yeah.
So it's still fresh for Ariana. We're watching it just later.
Yeah.
Now it's probably not as fresh. Maybe she doesn't have the same kind of feelings or animosities towards Tom Sandoval. But I do have to say, and I've said this before, I think I said it the last time I was live when we did this recap, maybe like 2 recaps ago or something.
Yeah.
But I was in Ariana's position. I was cheated on by someone I was with who we were together for a long time. And I had a lot of friends who came around to console me, who were friends with both of us,
And then they
right?
flipped.
And then they flipped. And what
Mm.
happens is they come, they want to support you as the victim. They're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, it's so sad the way he treated you and
Yeah.
all of this shit. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, then they come to you and they're like, you know what? He's doing well. Well, I didn't fucking ask if he's doing well. I don't give a shit if he's doing well. You know what I mean? So to be in her position, it would drive me nuts to see like, well, Tom did this. It's like Tom had a full-blown like 7 to 9 month affair with
Right.
a person who was best friends with the group, friends with Ariana, friends with Tom, who was engaged to James. Like, this is just all it's a big fuck you to Ariana. So I try to put myself in her position, and if I were in her position, I wouldn't want anything to do with Tom Sandoval either. I
Right.
wouldn't. Unfortunately for Ariana, we're filming a reality show, so there has to be conflict resolution. We're waiting to see if there's going to be any kind of resolution. For the mid-season trailer, it looks like we are going to see Ariana and Tom eventually like have conversations, come face to face. I don't think
Right.
it's going to go the right way, but I do have to say, I understand where Ariana is coming from. It's very hard to balance those friendships with past relationships when you've been hurt. It's really, really hard to just balance that. So I do have to say, I don't know. I'm Team Ariana right here. I really am. Like, I'm not. I wouldn't want to give people an ultimatum, but I want to feel safe, and I don't mean to talk so much at him, but
No, my
I want
God.
a I want a comfortable environment, just like
I'm
Lala wanted a
digesting what you're
comfortable.
saying because I feel like you sway me, and then I feel like I'm like a pendulum, and I'm like, okay, no,
Going
you're
back
right.
and forth.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, no, you're right.
Lala had the same thing to say when this happened with Randall, and
Mhm.
and it just comes off hypocritical. It's like, because you want it both ways, like let's say Lala and Sheena, doesn't mean Ariana has to want it both ways. It does, Yes.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
So, guys, we're not going to do this in any sort of order because it's not like a Cliff Notes sort of situation. But I do want to kind of pop all over last night's episode and kind of ask as it comes to me. And one of the questions that I have is when all of the girls went over to Allie's house, which is the house that she shares with James. We all know that James bought the house, but James and Allie are together. So it is their house, right? And they went over for the astrology girls' party, whatever. Lala was a little bit pissed off because she was saying to Ariana and everybody else, you guys keep on saying that this is not like, okay, well, we're the same. This is not the same. I have a baby with this man. There was a Hulu documentary made about this man. This man cheated on me with not only one woman, but multiple women, and there are multiple victims who are coming forward who are saying that they were victim of, like couch casting, where he would sit there and say, if you want the job, you got to do X, Y, and Z. You got to come back to my room. She went through a lot. And at the end of the day, she has to explain this to her daughter. So she's looking at it from that lens. Whereas Ariana is like,
Absolutely.
that is not, sure, that's not, I don't have a daughter with this man. But what I do have is a 10-year relationship with this man and
Hold
somebody who
on.
I thought was like a sister and a friend. And she
No.
fucked us.
Different situation. Randall
Okay.
came along later, okay?
Right.
Randall was not involved with this group the way that Tom and Ariana have been since the very beginning, working in the Vanderpump restaurants before the show. Do you
Yeah.
understand? Like it's different. This is a group of people that were filming for a long time together. It is a big slap in the face.
Right.
Lala and Randall's situation, Randall was like kind of like always looking for screen time, trying to like be
Yeah.
with the boys and in Vanderpump Rules, but he
So was
wasn't
Tom.
really wasn't a part of the I feel like it's a different situation. It really is. I understand she has a child,
But
but
which one is worse?
she did draw the line in the sand and say, if you're gonna hang out with Randall or anything to do with him, I don't want anything to do with you. It's
But
the
then
same thing.
this is where I'm putting you on the spot too, and I
Okay.
want to know from your perspective, which one which one would you want to navigate less? Ariana and Tom's
Oh
situation
God.
or Lala's situation with Randall and having a baby? Which one would you, if you had to pick and you had to be in one of these two
I
situations?
would not want to be in Lala's position. She has a lot more on her plate. I do agree with that. But when Ariana pulls you to the side and she says, hey, listen, I don't want to put myself in situations I'm not comfortable with. This just happened. I'm not comfortable with it. It took Lala a long time to kind of simmer down. She's still dealing with a lot of shit to this day, but it did take a lot for her to like calm down for a second. It's the same thing. Ariana, this is fresh. It's an open wound. There's a lot of trust things that happen within the group,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's within the group. Remember, Randall didn't come from the group,
Right.
right? Lala was cheating with Randall,
I
right?
also think I have a good analogy that can be used in this specific instance is Lala always says, if you choose to stop drinking, then that's on you. But you can't sit there and like put that on other people who are drinking and all of a sudden be like, I am 4 months sober. Oh my
Hmm.
God, you're having a drink and start judging them. Right.
Right,
Well,
right.
the same thing has to apply to the fact that like you at one point said you don't want to be friends with anybody who would have any sort of relationship with your ex. And now you're saying that you cannot be upset with the world and mad at everyone anymore because that's not conducive to a healthy environment and situation for you raising your daughter and moving on in whatever capacity that looks like, right?
Hmm.
Well, now it kind of applies the same way to Ariana. Like, if you can't tell somebody, oh my God, you're having a drink, you also can't tell somebody, oh my God, you need to move on with it because you did that on your own time. And now you're wanting her to move forward because there's a camera in front of your face and we need a
That's
storyline.
because we're
That's not up to you.
Yes, it's we're doing the show, but to
Right.
me, I don't understand where Lala and Sheena's feelings take precedence over Ariana's feelings, and they want to move on their own timeline, and Ariana is not on the same timeline. That's it.
Right.
That's all. I think maybe eventually she might come around. I mean, we're not going to see that, this season, but she might come around for that. But I do have to say, Nina, or why was I going to say Nina? I'm thinking of Nina Ali from Dubai. I'm thinking about Dubai today because that's all I want to watch.
Uh,
But you have Sheena and Lala have a knack of making things about themselves. No offense,
right.
they really
No,
do. So now the
that's fair.
situation is about them, their relationship with Tom Sandoval, how they feel, how fast Ariana should forgive Tom is now up to Sheena and Lala.
Yeah.
No, come on, that doesn't make sense. I get Ariana is like, she has, like someone just said in the live chat, she's moved on, she has a
Mhm.
man and stuff like that, but there's still stuff she has to figure out. There's still emotions she has to deal with as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really like leaning towards Ariana here just because I've been in the situation. I know it comes from the group. Within the group, it was a big betrayal. Randall's been uh, doing casting couches forever. So come on.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but a
Right.
lot of women
What
have
did you think?
alleged.
What did you think last night
I've
when
alleged this.
Katie looks at Lala and she goes, "Bitch," and you're like,
Well, okay, two ways. Not a huge fan of Katie in that situation, but not a huge fan of Lala in that situation.
I
Because
thought
when
Lala handled herself like fucking amazing to
I
be
don't
like,
know, I
"Don't
don't like
talk
to
to
be
me like that."
communicated to the way Lala communicates to people sometimes.
No,
When
but
she
you can't.
does
Okay, wait
this
a minute. Wait a
thing,
minute. Hold on. I gotta chime in here because a negative and a negative don't make fuck. They do a negative and a negative. They do make a
they don't make a
positive.
pause, and not in
No,
this
they do.
situation.
Just not in this situation. But
Yeah.
in real, yes, guys. I know somebody's gonna comment and say, actually, a negative and a negative. I get it. But for this, when Lala's saying, Katie, you sit there and you're telling me that this is how she should feel. Hold on, I want you to listen to me. And she goes, "Bitch, what are you talking about?" And Lala looks at her and says, "I'm not talking to you like that. I'm not sitting there calling you names. Don't talk to me like that." I was in agreement with Lala.
Yeah, I mean, I think they both just don't
Oh,
I don't think they like each other, you know? I
yeah.
just that's it.
But
But,
they've been best
it's
friends for a long time.
no, I know that, but then also too, we've seen Lala, the way she sometimes communicates or articulates what she's trying to get across can come off a bit, like, agitated and aggressive, and, like, that's very hard, but then it is very hard. This is why I'm team no one in this situation, because Katie can sit there and roll her eyes and, like, have an opinion about everything, but then, like, can't you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
it's just
dude,
kind of a
there.
back and forth and a
Yeah.
back and forth, but man, yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yes,
I mean, like,
I'm learning
Katie
to not interrupt Jason. Sorry. I'm
Oh, no,
sorry.
no, no, you're not interrupting me. I feel like I interrupt you more than anything, but, like, Katie is very unsympathetic to anything Sheena and Lala have to say about Tom Sandoval, and rightfully so, because Katie Maloney feels hurt by Tom Sandoval as well,
Right.
because she feels like Tom Sandoval was a wedge in their marriage, and if you watch back the seasons and stuff,
He
Tom
was.
Sandoval had a huge influence on their marriage. And
Yep.
so that kind of puts Katie in a place of like, I didn't like him in the first place. Fuck him. And then now she's like, now what happened to Ariana? I'm friends with Ariana. I'm business partners with Ariana. I'm drawing my line here with Ariana. I think that's okay. No one's wrong in that situation.
Can I ask you, because you're like ions older than me? Um, yeah, like you're like,
Ions? Really?
is that a thing? Did I say it right?
No, I don't know. Yes. Anyways, what were you
Okay.
going to ask?
All right. So last night on Watch What Happens Live, Ariana Madix was asked about Sheena, complaining about Dancing with the Stars and saying that Ariana knew that I wanted that and everyone knew that I wanted that, right? And
Mhm.
then after she said that, Andy said, "What do you think?" And all she said back was, "What's good for the goose is good for the gander." But I don't know what that means. Like, I am 26 years old. I don't know what that means.
Specifically, I don't know what it means, but I can tell you that I think it's okay. Here's what I just said. I said what just less than 2 minutes ago. Sheena has a knack of making things about herself. To be with Dancing with the Stars, you have to be asked. All right, it
Right.
wasn't Shandel, it was Scandival. So, like, of course, they're going to put the top person who's bringing in ratings on Dancing with the Stars. They're not going to put Sheena. So
Mhm. Yeah.
like,
Fair.
I don't really understand, like, "Oh, I wanna talk to her about Dancing with the Stars." Like, Ariana had the decision making of saying, "I am on Dancing with the Stars this season, not Sheena." No, Ariana doesn't have that power. So, you don't need to talk to her about Dancing with the Stars. I feel like that's weird. Is it because she didn't tell her first? But that's still weird. Why are you angry about Ariana doing Dancing with the Stars? It comes off as jealous.
No, I agree. Adam, you're 30, not 26.
Uh
That's rude. And Adam Ions, that was rude. Was that rude?
Ions. Oh, it could because you're saying you're a lot younger than me, but no.
Oh,
Once we're all past 30, we're around the same age.
yeah.
All right.
Guys,
So
you have to know I'm only kidding. Now, as we navigate this episode, we also have a moment between Lisa Vanderpump, and Lisa Vanderpump has Tom Sandoval come over to Tom Tom, which is something that Jason and I died last night, you guys, because we've been saying this shit to you for a long time and nobody ever believes anything that, I mean, that's not true. People do believe.
I mean, listen, people questioned us. Tom and Tom are owners of Tom Tom. They are owners. They should have a say. They only own 2.5% each, which is a total of 5%. We have said this for what, 3 years?
No, not we. You said it. You said it.
I mean, I don't know if I should have said it, but I'm glad it was confirmed last night. I'm glad
Yeah.
that finally Lisa can say, I don't need their permission. I don't need the backlash from people thinking I'm trying to take over. I put their names on there. It's the exposure. They are the hosts. They are the maitre d's. They are the mascots. That is all they are. That's it. So when she is refreshing things or doing things, and then that, I don't know how much that 2.5% changed when they opened the other side, so I don't know, what that entails anymore, but
2.5% essentially means that their names get to be on the sign, but they will never see any sort of profits out of the restaurant. Lisa,
it would take a long time. It would take a long time.
They were so smart. 2.5%. You guys both give us $50,000. That's 5%. $100,000 for 5%. So 5, 10, 100, 200, 2.
I don't know what you're
So
trying to
it's a $2 million restaurant. It's a $2 million restaurant in the way that it was built. Okay, I'm just trying to understand what the profit.
It's a lot. I mean, the whole to get all that profit back.
You're never going to see, especially after the pandemic.
Did it not legitimize them as business owners if they wanted to go open if they wanted to go open a restaurant called Schwartz and Sandy's where they were more of partners, it makes you kind of like, okay, you've kind of gotten guidance from Lisa and Ken. You've put money into the restaurant. They were around for the opening a lot.
They found a sucker. You found a sucker. You found somebody who was able to invest into your cockamamie schemes. And then look, now they're trying to sit there and reel their way out of it too, which would be Greg, because you have Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz, who are a couple of putzes that don't know what they're doing. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, that is what you have. And you know what's so funny, guys, is that there's so much, especially, and I know I said this with over 500 people in the room. I said this at the very beginning. I don't know what this phase is that I'm going through with YouTube and Jason and I, and like we're exploring so many different avenues right now. We have our plates full with family, friends, business, everything, and move after move. And I'm starting to feel like for the longest time, I always did not say the things that I knew because I'm not allowed to say it. And I would just try to play to those relationships. That is done. I'm good on it. I don't have to do that anymore for you or anybody else. And if I don't have, I can count all of my best friends on one hand. And that is the way I'm going to keep it. So yesterday I was sitting there and I was doing Access Hollywood. I was doing their Housewives Nightcap podcast. And when I was talking
Lauren and Emily, they're amazing.
Amazing. When I was talking to Lauren and Emily, they were talking about, oh, well, we can't wait to go to BravoCon next year or this year. And I said, BravoCon's not happening. And they said, wait, what are you talking about? And I said, it's not happening. And then Emily said, that's not true. I'm going to text the person. And then she said, oh my God, you guys, I can't say what I was just told, but what I can say is Adam is really credible. And I was like, thank you. It's like the same thing that goes in with the Tom and Tom having 2.5%. Like, Jason, you and I are like vaults. We never share.
No, I mean, listen, because things can change too. But BravoCon not happening this year for many reasons, I think. I think because they're not going to, I don't know if they'll have enough to like show at BravoCon. It's too close. I mean, already I'm still like recovering from BravoCon and we're March. That was in November. It's okay to extend it, maybe put it past the new year, like now, like a springtime BravoCon in Vegas would be great. Let the election pass. We all know that's going to be kind of riled because everyone is like, here, let the Olympics are this year. There's a lot happening. So to throw BravoCon on top of it, I think would be a mistake. So I actually think that's a very smart decision that they aren't doing BravoCon until probably the spring. I don't think they're going to go 2 years without it.
Yeah. And anyways, I also, to be fair and not to, God, it's my least favorite thing to talk about. I've been doing holds, guys, on the turf.
And falling off bikes.
and falling off bikes. It's my
That's
least
beside
favorite
the
thing to
point.
talk about would be the election, but I do think that this year, especially if you guys are watching from the United States, that this is going to be a very emotional year, no matter what side you're choosing. And I think that when you have something like that coming up, which is such a huge event, and you have a lot of people who are going to be condensed in one central location, I think it makes it very scary because you don't know what people are capable of. And I think that that probably plays into the decision. So that is the most that I'm going to elaborate on
Oh, you
that.
can look at it another way too. You can look at it at maybe that point of time between November election day and the inauguration in January.
Mhm.
Maybe it is a good thing to have an event to bring people together with a common thing that everyone likes, like Bravo.
Maybe.
Sometimes it can be, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
I just think they don't have enough going on. I think they don't want to be overshadowed with the election or the Olympics, even though the Olympics is months before. You don't want to overshadow it. And I think that maybe right after award season, like now, spring break season in Vegas, and having BravoCon might be a really good idea. I don't know if that will happen or not, but
Yeah. I like
yeah,
that. All right.
yeah.
So on top of everything else that we talked about, I do want to mention briefly Lisa Vanderpump. I know that she spoke with Sheena, but she also spoke with Tom Sandoval. So her conversation with Sheena, I love you, Sheena. I thought it was a very dumb conversation. I didn't think it was good TV. I think that it made Sheena, I think it painted her in a very jealous light about the Dancing with the Stars. Like, and I'm just saying this because
Okay.
you and I have a lot of friends who do a lot of things, right? We have friends who are running real estate things and like Dubai and like also in Cirque. Like you're not in Cirque anymore, but we have friends who are and doing all of these things. But I've never sat back and ever been jealous of my friends for doing those things because if that's what they're doing and I'm not doing it, it's not my journey. And that's how I've always looked at it. Like there's something else for me,
Yeah.
like even when we didn't do Vanderpump Rules and that's how I always look at things. Like there is something bigger and better. And my path is not the same as that path. So I think watching her saying she knew that I wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars. And then when Lisa
But
was
like
like,
I said, she wasn't the decision maker on if you don't to do Dancing with the Stars or if she does. Ariana is not the head of ABC.
right,
Like she's not going to make the decision
isn't
of you
Disney?
doing Dancing with the Stars. It's on ABC.
But Disney is
Disney is, yes,
the
they're
one
the
who,
same company, parent
yeah.
company.
Okay.
Mhm.
So then from that point
But
also,
Mickey Mouse did not choose Ariana. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's ABC.
no, it was goofy. Um, okay. So also, guys, it is Wednesday. How the fuck is it not Friday? I don't know. Now moving over into this other conversation where Tom went to Tom to talk to Lisa Vanderpump. When he did, he was talking to Lisa about Raquel because she said, I talked to her and she doesn't love you anymore. And she's
Well, I don't
actually,
think she said that. She said that she's moved on,
do
right?
you want
Like,
to go play the clip? She said she does not love you anymore. She's not in love with you, that she blames you for a lot of this. She's not happy with you. She's actually, in fact, angry with you. That is what she said.
when really they can only be mad at themselves, both of them,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? But no, that's mm, what a conversation. What a
Right.
conversation. I do want to ask you and kind of um I want to talk to you kind of about Ariana and the situations she's in with the house and her talking about her money situation.
Right.
And how that leads into why she needs to stay, or she wasn't expecting this. But before we do, guys, we do have a sponsor today, and I'm not going to go crazy with our sponsors, but we actually use this sponsor. So I just want to bring them up really quickly because maybe if Ariana had Rocket Money app, she would not be in the position she is. I'm not sure, but we use Rocket Money, guys, as a personal finance app because we working in the restaurant industry, always preach to our friends, take care of your money, know what's happening in your bank accounts. And now with social media, with Hulu, with all of these other streaming services, sometimes you sign up for something and you don't remember you have it, and then every month it's just coming out of your account. So Rocket Money cancels all your unwanted subscriptions. It actually caught 4 of ours, Adam. Because we subscribe to everybody on YouTube and sometimes their memberships and stuff. And it's like, oh, no. We just want to
I'm the
do that for a
worst.
month. Yeah. Or do that here. It cancels. It saved us a lot of money. It saves over 5 million people $700 or more. So try it. If you're interested, all you got to go is go to go to the description below and go to rocketmoney.com/upandAtom to learn more. That's rocketmoney.com/upandAtom. We don't take on sponsors unless we really enjoy them and we actually use them. And this is one we actually use. I'm OCD and I love to keep track of my money. All right. I don't want to be in a position where I'm going to go open a business, where I'm going to drop money here. And then all of a sudden somebody cheats on me. And now I wasn't expecting it. And I have this house and where am I going to go? You know what I mean? So it's good to keep track of your money. But what do you think about this situation? And do you think that's a valid argument for her still being in the house?
I want to say this really quick. I was working out this morning with a friend, and my friend, our friend, she's very, very smart, her and her husband, and they have very modest jobs. And since 2007, they've been investing in real estate. And now he is actually retiring early because they have made all of these investments and now they want to travel the world, which is absolutely incredible and something that I'm not used to growing up around family wise. But I'm also very frugal, guys, like super, super frugal. Jason will say that.
Like literally I have to go buy him clothes. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay, not that frugal. We don't want to be that frugal.
When, I had a really tough time with seeing Sheena say that during the pandemic, she lost her podcast. She was pregnant and Tom Sandoval, PayPal'd her money. Ariana said that she was on her last $2,000. Jackson Brittany lost everything almost, and he had over $1 million in taxes that he had to pay off. Kristen Doty said that she was PayPal'd also by Tom Sandoval money. Tom Schwartz is now living in a shithole of a LA
That's not a
apartment.
shithole.
I can say
That's
I'm
not a
saying
shithole.
it. I can say it because I'm talking about the apartments compared to, I know the building, I know the area, I know how much money he's spending, and I know what it is compared to
My
what
sister used to
was
live in
there.
that building.
Okay.
It's the same building.
Oh my God. Guys, I'm saying in the sense of what you're comparing it to, what there's no comparison. Like I grew up in small, tiny houses and small, tiny apartments, and my parents also lived in double wides. Like that is how I grew up. And I have no idea how these people, if my parents ever had the opportunity to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, which that's not the path that they paved for themselves, I would wonder so hard, how did you lose all of that money? So when I sit there and I look at the fact that Stassi Schroeder was making over $700,000 after season 7, season 8. And now we're on season 11. You guys are making a shit ton more. And you're still trying to figure out how you're on your last $2,000. Or Tom Sandoval is sitting across from Tom Schwartz. And he said, I have to move over $500 here, $300 here because I have no money left in my account. That's mind blowing to me. That's baffling.
It is. It really is. And I think that, maybe you can say, okay, after 1 or 2 seasons and the show didn't last and you made some money, but not that much money, but you made enough and you blew it. I understand. But like after 5 seasons, 6, 7, 9, 11, then like maybe it's time to really kind of manage the money, and which is difficult, which is why they should have Rocket Money. But I do have to say, going back to Tom Sandoval,
I love the product.
Hey, listen, they're great. And I'm so happy that we have a sponsor for today's live, honestly. But going back to Tom Sandoval, how you just said, he's PayPaling everyone money like Oprah, throwing out gifts, During the pandemic, when we shut down, it was like the first month or two, Tom, because we were just talking about them not being
I cannot wait to see how this applies to this.
Partners. I know, but I'm just saying, like, I want to give them a little credit because they did make sure they did a whole fundraiser during the pandemic for all of the TomTom employees, from managers to servers to bussers to bartenders to the cleaners who come in at night, and raised money and wrote everyone a $1,800 check or something like that. Like they gave money. So I do want to say, like, that wasn't such a bad thing. I don't know how many people know that, but
no, I don't think it was a bad thing. I think that it was very sweet thing. And I think that it was very nice. They did cameos during the pandemic in order to pay the staff and make sure that everybody had a little bit more money, which was absolutely, you can't paint that in a negative light or make them look like the villain in that story, because that's not the way it is. They were
Yeah,
amazing for
yeah.
that. But at the end of the day, I look at this and I look at Ariana with her $2,000 and Sheena with getting $2,000 in a PayPal and Kristen Doty getting money. Jax almost losing everything. Tom Sandoval moving money around 500 here, 500 there, and not even being able to pay his bills. Tom Schwartz about to lose everything. Katie Maloney also kind of on the brink. It's like, how? How?
Because, you
How?
know, when you're in this position and you're on television and you have a lot of exposure and people around you, like the yes people, right? The people who follow you around because they want to be on the show and they want to say yes, yes, yes. And then you have these opportunities because now you're in this point of stardom that you've been on the show for 10 seasons plus, and you want to open a business and stuff like that. You have a lot of people promising you a lot of things too. So, um, I don't know. It's a tricky road to navigate. It really is. I do feel that no matter what, the location of something about her is going to be great, and I think that business will be great if they can ever get it off the ground.
Okay.
But who said it? Whose book is this, guys? Someone will know. It's I read this. If you don't have the money, you don't spend it. You know. So if
Anybody with a brain?
no, and it's who's the guy who helps people with money? He needs to be our next sponsor. Anyway, what is his name? Rami Remy? No, not you.
Oh.
Anyway, you don't spend money you don't have. So like
Yeah.
if you're gonna like open a place or you're gonna or whatever, and it's gonna leave $2,000, I would never open a business if I had $2,000 in my bank account. At the end of that, at the end of investing, like there's no way because you're not going to see it back, especially a restaurant. You're not going to see it back for even a sandwich shop for at least 3 to 5 years. You know,
Right.
it's insane. I
Well,
don't know. God, the talk about money makes me anxious.
I
You
mean,
know?
yes. Yes.
Whew, oof.
And guys, also, I'm not saying this. Can I just say really quick in my not caring care phase? Um, I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm saying
No.
this because this concerns me about me doing YouTube. This is my this is my life. This is what we do. It concerns me about other people who don't love their jobs. It concerns me about somebody who could potentially be laid off tomorrow. And you
Mhm.
have this salary that you make, right? You're compensated. And then, you think all of the money is coming in, and then all of a sudden tomorrow it's like a Venus flytrap, like, and it's gone.
Not a Venus flytrap.
Yeah. And it's just gone like that. So that's why I look at it like this, because I think it's probably the most terrifying thing, because I think as we get older, for example, and I'm going to pop over to another conversation in a second, but I have family who was in the military, and Jason was in Cirque du Soleil. Jason, for the longest time, his career was doing flips and turns, and he was a showman, and he ran this entire massive production. But then when you come out of that, how do you put that on a resume for another job that is not performative? And then you
I've
have somebody like, oh, I was just going to say really quick, you have somebody who's like in the military, like Bradley Cooper, who was the sniper in that one movie. And he had X amount of takeouts, that was his job. And he was really, really good at that. But then how do you implement that and that skill into everyday life, trying to make money again? It's really, really difficult. So I
I
think to
think the
not be
skills are
smart with it.
there, like, I think the skills are there, uh, for what I did or military. It's just how do you utilize the skills that you've honed for so many years into the real world? Because, like, the military is a bubble, Cirque du Soleil was a bubble, reality TV is also a bubble. We've seen it go awry, we've seen it go left with people who have left reality TV.
Right.
Um, but no, that's a very, very true statement.
Can I
Anyway, what
can I
were we
show you
talking
a photo?
about?
Can I show you a photo and ask you initial reaction?
Okay, okay. I was gonna say, speaking of being anxious, like, the whole time I was watching Joe on screen, I felt like
She's a hairdresser, by the way.
not from this photo.
Joe,
Girl,
we're sorry.
maybe she's good with other people's hair, I don't know, but not from this photo. Like,
I
I
gotta. I gotta
Man,
reel it in
like,
because I can't be mean on this.
oh, don't be mean, but like, no, I hope we're not going to see any more of Joe. We're not going to see any more of Joe,
Oh,
right?
we're
Maybe
gonna see a
one
fuck
more
ton more of
episode.
Joe.
No, come
No,
on.
no, she's sitting down with Lala. She's coming to another event. She is first of all, I thought now because I thought Katie was a little annoying when she looked at Lala and she was like, "Bitch," and
Oh, I thought they were both annoying.
That's a little bit aggressive, Katie. But then when they did the playback to the reunion and she's like, she's crazy. I'm like, you are so bitter, but why? Like, what does this girl do to trigger you? And she's like,
Man,
and then she comes in like Scooby Doo, like, like, oh, Tom's here.
I
And
don't know. Joe is triggering me. Like, I don't know. She was triggering my anxiety.
I thought I
Like, it
was
was crazy because
relapsing and I've never
I,
had a problem.
I was like, is this editing? But then I'm like watching closely. She was doing all these things and like with her face and like, are you like TV performing right now? Are you trying to like perform for the TV? Because like less is more with the camera. Less is more. You know what I mean? Well, not this less, not less with the hair. You can do something with
We
the hair.
need a happy
But you know,
median.
yes, less is more. And it just seemed like every time you looked at her, she was like a cartoon character. It's like, what is happening?
Oh,
What is going
it was
on? And
it
she
was
doesn't fit
cringe.
in. It's weird. It's
Oh,
weird.
especially when like Allie looks over and goes, "Is that Tom Sandoval?" And they're all like, "Yeah, Tom Sandoval's here." And she goes, "He's
It's
here!" And I'm
I'm
like, "Read the
yeah.
room, girl. That is not the vibe
It's
of
like we're
this."
watching Looney Tunes. Like it's just like overperform. You know, like it's
That's what
crazy.
it
It's
was. It
crazy.
was
It's
Looney
Looney
Tunes, dude.
Tunes. It's
It's
like the
literally like
reaction of cartoons.
if you're not on camera and I go upstairs and I go to talk to you and nobody else can see you, you are like that. You're like Looney Tune.
Uh,
That's you.
Me?
Yes.
Me? No,
Yeah.
that's you. What are you
Oh.
talking about? That is totally you. Don't
Who?
don't
You. Do you know what that's from?
No.
Kelly Dodd, Shannon Bedore.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
it was
Yes.
you. Okay. Anyways, so she's sitting there and we're starting to get to meet Joe finally. Joe, yes, Jason, I'm sorry. You unfortunately have to see her and a
I don't want
lot
to see her
more.
anymore. I
No,
don't.
you're going to see her at the finale. You're going to see her sit down with Lala Kent. You're going to see
About what?
her film multiple scenes with Tom Schwartz. You're going to see a lot more of her, but I do have to give it to Katie. I owe you an apology because I thought that you were just bitter Betty. No, I think that girl is batshit.
I think I think with Katie, I think she's very Katie's like in a I don't know. Really, she's lovely, but at the same time I feel like she's kind of that like I don't know how to say this.
Please read
She's
this.
like what? Joe seems straight out of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, that's funny. um Katie does come off bitter, you know, but she's usually right about a lot of things. It's almost like she's jaded. She's jaded with everything. She's jaded with LA. She's jaded with relationships, her marriage, and she's just over it. But she can come off quite like condescending, you know?
Yeah. Well, she does come on. And by the way, that's not just her on TV. Katie is very much so one of the few that is the same on TV that she is off screen. And she is still
Yeah.
the same way. She will look at you like,
Yeah. And
but she
that's
can also
great. She
be
knows
very,
who
very
she
sweet.
is.
Yeah.
She knows who she is, but she can be
Mhm.
unsympathetic in a lot of situations. You know,
Or
so
guarded because she's
or
been through a lot of
guarded
situations and she's not going to
and
put herself out there.
maybe that's what I was meant to say instead of bitter and jaded, maybe guarded because of the situation she's been in with everyone, her friends, her husband, all that jazz.
And
All that jazz. Little shout out to Chicago. There we go.
jazz. Okay. I
Uh,
think did we hit everything? I feel like we
I
did.
think we did. Like I felt like there was one more thing we had to talk about, but I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I mean,
Um I want to, you know, we don't do this enough, and I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all the subscribers who make it a point to come show up at our lives. We have over 600 people in the room. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. It helps us out so much. You have no idea. A, B, huge shout out to our moderators who make it a point to be at all of our lives and go through our comments and help us out as well. We appreciate you. 3C, thank you, Marae. so much for sending us an amazing
Oh
gift.
my
I'm not going
God,
to
you
mention it
guys.
here, but like
And we're
I feel
drinking
like
water.
I feel like we are spoiled by you, and thank you so much for helping, our lives and everything go well. And thank you to our amazing sponsors that we have coming into our lives, or into our live streams, into our live streams and stuff like that. I know people don't like sponsors or hear, things being read out and stuff, but it really makes a difference for us in our show, and making it so we can grow and keep up the quality as well.
Can I say really quick too? Cammie Jackson said, "Would you criticize a guy that acted like Katie?" Oh my
Yes.
God, you have no idea. I would be 10 times harsher. Like, I would I would eat that sucker alive if it was a guy who acted like Katie. For Katie, I'm exercising a little bit of empathy in the sense that we are friendly with Katie, and
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
I don't look at it because she's a woman versus being a male. I don't look at it that way, actually. I think it's just because we know her. It's nothing to do with her being a woman. That doesn't. But yes, to answer your question, would you criticize a guy that acted like Katie? It would be unfair. It would be a roast. It would be a comedy roast. Not the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
And
not
have
the
you
same
met
at all.
Jason? Meet Jason, please. Somebody, like, I want somebody to post about meeting you off of this camera, like Murray or Elaine or all of these other people who get to meet you out in real life, because Jason is so funny and he pulls it back in, he reels it in and tries to keep it like very just acceptable and responsible and respectful on YouTube. Give him a glass of champagne and take him to a bar and wait
No,
until you
listen.
see what vault you open.
We've all got to see Jason like that. If you guys came to our live shows that we did, what, like, now 2 years ago, and we got to hang out because we made it a point to do all the hangouts and stuff like that, or in London, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. I
Yeah.
love getting together. But listen, on YouTube, we're talking about a subject matter, and we're trying to maintain some respectful banter, if you will,
Yeah. Murray
you
said,
know.
Jason is such a joy. We love him.
Hey,
Go on
thanks,
tour,
Marie.
Adam
Like,
and Jason, please. God, and can I say
oof.
really quick too? I know that I said this at the beginning, but with over 600 people in the room right now, just to give you guys a heads up of like what timelines look like, Jason, and just kind of like a few updates. And I didn't even talk to Jason about this, so I'm sorry if this is something I shouldn't have. But Anchor Watch right now is being put on hiatus for a little bit. And we're going to figure out what we want to do with the Vanderpump Rules after party, because it might just be more so Jason and I doing the recaps. Also, at the end of the month, in less than 2 weeks, Jason and I are moving to another
I'm so
location.
sorry to interrupt you. I forgot that if you want to see, like Tequila Katie, but Champagne Jason, all you have to do is go watch the old after parties.
Yeah. Champagne Jason. But no, guys, we're getting ready to move at the end of the month, and then we have like 5 million other things happening. So we're going to be picking up things as we go and filming a lot of behind the scenes content and everything in between. But just bear with us. We love you guys. This is the Adams family and the community that we all built together, not just Jason and I, but all of you. We're going to keep you posted in the community tab. And please, if there's ever something that you have a question over or whatever, DM us, email us. It's all right there on the main page and on all social media platforms. We will answer you. And if it's not me who doesn't, like if I don't answer you, Jason will.
Yeah.
Because I'm the worst.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm the shittiest human with
Like,
answers.
sometimes you're not a shitty human, but sometimes, like, even like when our close friends text you, don't text back.
I literally have like 27 text messages right now. I'm looking at it, 27 text messages. So I'm sorry. All right. Jason, did we cover everything?
We covered everything. One thing,
Okay.
and this is good for people watching too. If you're in the replay, one thing, comment below, because I want to know too. I'm going to go through the comments as well. One thing that
How
you're
many
looking
times are you
forward.
going to say one thing? Say it.
One thing you are looking forward to the rest of the season of Vanderpump Rules. What's the one thing? What's the one thing you're looking forward to?
What's the one thing? You just got like voiceover, Jason.
What is the one thing?
We
Like,
got
I'm
champagne,
curious.
Jason. That's a
Because I can't
sassy
think of
bitch.
one damn thing
We
I'm
got
really looking
voiceover,
forward to
Jason.
seeing.
That's your movie theater bitch. We got hungry, Jason, which we're about to hit in 2.5
In an
hours.
hour. Yeah.
Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for everybody joining us. We will be back this Friday, so not tomorrow.
Wait,
But
are
the
you
day
just
after.
not answering the question? What is
You
the
said,
one thing you're looking forward to in the rest of this season of Vanderpump Rules? Is there
oh,
something you're looking forward to?
honestly, I want to get to the end, see the reunion, and see if it's the season of completion because I know a lot of the other things. That it's not a fair question for me.
Okay. Well, the one thing I'm looking forward to is finding out something I'm looking forward to. Although I do have to say that the mid-season trailer really does.
What the fuck shady ass answer is
I'm
that?
just right now I don't know what I would be like looking forward to.
The
But what I
one thing
really
I'm looking forward to about your show that is the #1 show on cable television, Emmy nominated, is finding out what makes me excited after watching
yeah.
everything so far because there's
Yes,
nothing
because
that
there's been
makes
6
me
episodes
want
of
to
just
look
kind
forward
of
to
this
something.
is the first episode I've actually paid attention to. I'm not on my phone. I'm not like, "Oh, yeah, we can recap this. This is easy to talk about. Whatever, sure, nothing really happened." But now, like, I see there's some movement, and the mid-season trailer has done I mean, it looks amazing. It looks like we haven't seen half of I mean, we haven't seen half the season, but half of what's actually going to happen this
Yeah.
season until we get to, let's say, starting next week in next week's episode.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. All right, guys. With that, Jason, anything else before?
No.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done with his ass. With that, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all of our mods in the live chat. Thank you to everybody who joined the live chat. Thank you for gifting the memberships. And also, don't forget that this Friday we will be doing Hot Messy Topics with Kim from Bravo Breaking News. That'll be at 12 p.m. Eastern. On the way to that point, because we still have tomorrow, I will be posting little polls in the community tab so you can vote in those. And if you guys are on Instagram, just check out our broadcast channel because I keep you guys posted there. But I love you guys. Definitely check out Rocket Money, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.